Mindset, blessed love, manners, and respect. Want to greet the item in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, and also Empress Menen I. Marcus I, Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Warm welcome, beautiful brothers and sisters. One more day above ground, as the item know. Life is our ultimate position. Nothing no greater than that, no matter what go on. On top of everything that is going on. Zane, we have a very powerful reasoning, line up for the item today. Would I love the item to start interact by pushing the like button, you know what I mean? Like the video and share it amongst your friends and families. We have a very special guest on the platform today. Zane, I'm honored to really have this honorable priest, a foundation priest from the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. As I said, it's an honor to have the honorable priest Knuckles on the platform. The first time I hear this honorable priest is a couple of years ago still, Zane. But when I heard the honorable priest culturing, within a reasoning, I was, just blown away, by the brethren culturing still, So it's a great honor to have the honorable priest Knuckles and the mindset program today. Blessed love, honorable priest. Warm welcome.
Oh, blessed love, my Lord, and give thanks for this royal opportunity to speak with royal I-Just-Star mindset, and share our tradition and our, what is the word? Share our tradition, our trad with the man, and vibration as we go along through the earth, moving from lowland to highland. My Lord and Majesty, blessed.
Blessed love. Warm welcome again, my Lord. Great to have thee here.
Selassie,
Jah, Rastafari.
Rastafari.
My Lord. Yes, honorable priest. Make we take it to grassroots, Jamaica, is that where they grew up?
Yes, my Lord. Yes. Grew up in Kingston, Jamaica, a young youth. And came to the United States in 1970 with the family,
True.
And yes.
So what it was like before coming into the States in Jamaica?
Well, it was a normal tradition walking as a young man that I never have what I call a suffering life. Yeah, because my grandmother had a shop, one of the first, like a shop in Waterhouse.
Same.
Grew up in Waterhouse,
Yes,
and so I never knew what we would call a suffering life. Even though the life in Jamaica, we're poor, but we never suffering.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So a Waterhouse it name back in them days there?
Yes, my Lord. Yes.
Seen. And how it get to name that Waterhouse? Cause that names carry meaning,
Yeah, I don't know where the name really originally come from. I grew up at Bana, I think at Matches Lane, my mother say. And then when I was about 6 years old, I went to stay live with my grandmother, you know, in Waterhouse on a little road called Scarlet Road.
See.
And that was the beginning of my journey, my lord. Yeah.
Them place there is taboo today is some garrison, ghetto, bad place. Did ever experience any of them type of vibration there in the community?
No, my lord, not really. Them time there, the body set a man or bad man at that time, them used to have a gang, them call it Pigeon Gang. And them time they know was more ratchet and knife violence. In time before I man leave, it never get to the state of gun violence yet. You know?
See,
So we're talking about 1960 to 62, them time there. You know? Mm.
Rastafari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
them
man.
time the Jamaica just get independence, and it was just more a joyful place to be in Jamaica in that time than where it come to be now
What
with the violence, you know?
what Jamaica not being independent or
No, I mean when time them get independence in a 62, I remember that distinctly for them they'd have some them had what you call dance, square dance at Moline Square, and most of the major intersections did have a big dance in a 62 when time Jamaica get independence. I remember that distinctly, you know.
see,
Mm.
see. Pardon me. See. All right, and what was that like? What was growing up in a them time there like for the eye? As the eye said the eye didn't face no suffering, but we are a poor people, poor and have not. As a
Yes.
youth, I grew up, we do youthly things, shoot bird and all of them type of something there. Uh, are them type of thing that I grew up at.
Yes, my lad. Yeah, man. Got a bird bush with the slingshot. Remember, me have a auntie where she was like a tomboy, and she and her boyfriend and the whole of them on one little bicycle. One youth they come from England, and people them come from England, and 3, 4 hours up on the bicycle I ride go down Olympic way down. Them have a bird bush. I remember if a woodpecker avenue, so me like down the side there. Yeah, way down. I mean, as youth, it seemed like a long distance, still probably only about 3, 4 miles. But yeah, used to go a bird bush and all of them things, them my lad. Yeah, man.
Rastafari and Bill Kite and all of them thing there.
Yeah, man. I play cricket and football in the road, and you know, walk barefoot most of the time. Mm.
So as a youth in a them time there, what was the I experience of seeing Rastaman within the I community?
Well, that time I never experienced when about 64, 64, 65. Um, I was going to Tarrant. Went to Tarrant when I was 12, so that's about 60, 65, 66. And there was a Rasta youth named Emmanuel where, we walk come home from school, and him used to come at the school and them used to make fun of him for some time if he not have no shoes. Them used to have a plastic shoes. Think them used to call it Tarzan, where was the cheapest shoes that you could have buy. But when time the sun get hot and you walk on the asphalt, it's like it a melt. So when time I come, I have to take off all him shoes. Him used to live on the Gully Bank by Olympic Way and Bay Farm Road. When time after Bakawal did mash up, Rastaman them scatter, you know? And when we reflect back now, I realize that even from them time they my heart did open onto the Rastaman because a few one that did want to walk with him, you know? Most ones that make fun of him at them time there. Yet me and him always walk home at evening time. As a matter of fact, he'd have a little cut on my forehead wherein he'd have fling buckle, pick up pieces, buckle and along the way and fling them down on the sidewalk where I walk and one of them bunks up back and cut me on my forehead. And for years, every time I look on it, I remember a little youth there, you know? Yeah. But that was my first. Well, when we did the water house still, before I go to Tarrant, at the end of the road, there was a piece of open land. And a Rastaman did, when they would have called capture, them days there,
Yeah.
just build up him house, yeah. And we used to walk across the property, because before him come there, it was a shortcut to go to a supermarket up the road, you know. And yeah, we used to walk through there. Now you have people that afraid, and I man never have that fear there. In hindsight, me I look back on it, me realize that me never did afraid for walk through the property, but me never have no correspondence with them at that time, you know, only the little youth
See.
where me used to walk home with, you know.
Yes, I.
Mm.
So in a them time there is when the Rasta man is seen as the black art man.
Yes, my lord, definitely so. Yeah, and I remember also we used to take the number 8 bus go Waterhouse, and me auntie did go. Them used to have a theater out at 3 Mile called Deluxe, and we did go at the movies. And when I come home, I was last bus I catch, and I remember being in the bus, and there was a Rasta man that was talking, and I don't remember what he was talking, but all I know say you have people that say, listen to the Rasta man because he might talk the truth, you know? And there was a silence in the bus while he might talk. Now, later when time I come to know Dada and the Bobo tradition, me I recognize say I was a Bobo because there wasn't a scan and a fear of him in the bus, but more listen to the wisdom of the Rasta man. You
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first encounter hearing Rastaman talk. And he was simply talking about truth and rights. I remember him say something about them comb the little girl them hair and make this big part, and if you don't know say the hair for protect the head. So when you comb the hair and do it like that, anything can lick her in her head and she get her head bust.
Mm.
It was, no, when you think of it, it was just a reason about natural things that him a lick against, you
Yeah.
know? The
Yeah.
bald head and the combing of the hair, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
The I say something that stand out, you know. The I said there wasn't any fear of the virgin, you know, of the ras.
Yes,
Seeing,
yes,
um,
yes,
is there a difference? Um, how people might perceive Bobo Shanti and a different set of Rastafari, brethren.
Yes, my lord. Yes. Um, in when you come to present day and the journey with Dada, you recognize the Bobo carried a certain respect because of how we travel. And one of the things that the people them was afraid of was the dread because it was unusual to them.
Mm,
So that through the Bobo ear did cover up, that fear and that dread wasn't as loud as the man with Lego him locks. You know?
yeah.
Yeah. So I remember that man did have him made tie up as a youth on the bus. You know? Mm.
Rastafari. Yes, I.
And
Alright.
then through the father did when we come now to be with the man and see the father, that him culture was about black people in general and their rights and their justice. The Bobo man would attack within a different way than some of the other man them who are burn fire for the people them and burn fire for the ballad.
Mm,
You understand the difference?
yes, I.
Yeah, yeah. So that fear mode was less in dealing with the Bobo Shanti Rastaman than with the general Rastaman who them call dread. And dread
Mm,
means fear. You know, see it.
true. True, true.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a stigma though with that black heart man thing that might have drive fear in the people?
Yes, my lord. As you grow up, you hear your parents them say them trying to secure you, would try to tell you not to deal with them man because them a black heart man. And as far as the narrative was that black heart man would steal children and cut out them heart. Now there was a time and a history when there were some youths, one or two, that were found in caves with missing parts. And I don't remember the great details of it. Later it would turn out that we had white man come to Jamaica and was sourcing organs. And because the Rasta man live up in the hills, he was accused of those things. So that's why them call him the black heart man, like he might take out hearts out of young children. But it wasn't the work of Rasta man, you know? It was the work of white men come and them still do these things in poor countries today. Cause you know the price of organs, you know what I mean? In
Yes,
them
I.
system, yeah, there's a whole heap of money for those things. So
Mm,
the Rasta man was accused of those crimes, which he wasn't guilty of. The Rasta man rise up under the banner of peace and love. You see it?
true.
Love for the people and a liberation from the oppression of the people by the white man. Yeah, but the media and thing associate those crimes, though there were few, because I don't remember more than two or three stories about that in those days. You know what I mean? As a young youth. Yeah, but later would I read that yeah, it was white man who did do those things, my lad. Come along in the country and come reap young people organs, you know?
I think the I going to America give the I a more better understanding of
True,
what
true.
really was and who
happening.
was the perpetrators back
True, my
then.
lord. True, true.
All right, talk to me about transition into, going into America, my lord. Talk to me about that experience.
Well, when I man ended up in the Bronx. And my mom care up all of us. There's five of us. And we had to all share one little one bedroom apartment. And your thoughts at that time was this great America. And you think about everything shining and nice. When I wake up the morning, I was on the fifth floor of a apartment building in the Bronx. And when I looked through the window downstairs, I was around there so them keep the garbage. And a whole heap of garbage. I remember saying in myself, say, "Ah, this is the America." But me remember reading in magazines then when them talk about the ghetto. So me say, oh, so the ghetto we live. But when you're watching TV, you know, see them thing up on TV of America. So when time you come, yeah, that was a surprise to me. I remember the morning when I get up. I think it was a Saturday morning too, the first time. I said, America ain't all pretty, you know? Yeah,
Rasta.
but living in the Bronx was more to me, more to get into a more crime and bad vibes than my living in Jamaica at a young age, you know? I was introduced to more criminal activities, gang violence, going to high school, and all of those things, you know? So me never have that growing up in Jamaica. But when we come to the Bronx, yeah, we introduced to that in our community, you know? Mm-hmm.
See, and looking back now with the experience that I have now, and looking back, what would you say is the root cause of the nature of how youth should have conduct themselves in those community at that time?
Um, in hindsight, when you look, any area that is very poor and the people are very poor, you have a higher incidence of crime,
True.
regardless of the country, regardless of the color of the people, and all of that. So these tall buildings, you remember going down to go to school and man in the hallway I do things and your mother warn you say no associate with them people there and people sit down on the corners and all of them things there where it's a survival mode. It's like where I would have said the concrete jungle.
Mm-hmm.
You come to the realization say this lifestyle I know is like a jungle, even though you're in the great America. You see it? Yeah. It requires a certain strength you have to build to survive in that arena, you know? Or the resources are small, are few. So you have to compete and struggle
Mm.
for the survival, you know? Yeah.
Rastafari.
Mm.
Yeah. It funny still, you'd have think Jamaica is more a place where you'd expose, to them type of, level
Yes.
of I don't know, um, criminality or garrison.
Yeah.
Them days that was the term projects was that term being kind at the time?
You mean in US?
Yeah,
In the Bronx? Yeah, man. Um, when I came, my mom had a friend who was him really come from Trinidad, but him grew here from him small. So him basically you call him a black American.
yeah.
And him used to do deliveries. And him carry me as a young youth. Me come up 16. So as a young man, all when school in the summertime, would I work with him on the truck. And he would have carry me down in a Harlem, what was really the projects. All a building. In the Bronx, there was some 5-story building without elevator. In the projects, all the buildings with elevator and all of these things. And one of the things that I remember them used to have, what them call um, rent parties every Friday night, Saturday night, and I guess Sunday night or what you may have to go to school, me never go with him. Friday night, and they would go to the apartment. Everybody gather at one apartment and them have gambling, sell liquor, all of that. Out of the gambling, the house get a money. So that was how they would have paid them rent. Saturday night they move to our next one, you know? Like we say the concrete jungle, so black people create ways of survival because the income low, you know?
Yes,
So
I.
you used to call them the rent parties. That me remember going down in Harlem to the projects when we just come. Mm.
My lord. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes,
Interesting. Um,
yes.
what trace of Marcus Garvey was left behind that you notice?
Um, you know, in Harlem, there was very black conscious in terms of who were our oppressors when you go, especially when you go to Harlem, you know, there was a degree of black consciousness that derived out of the UNIA and the teachings of Marcus Garvey. I don't remember them talking much about him, but them mention within them tradition of people going back to Africa, mostly amongst the Caribbean folks. You know, the Black Americans were more entrenched in staying here and that they deserve certain rights and looking for their civil rights and justice amongst the people. Now, this is in 70s, so that was a time when the civil rights movement was very loud, you know? So, yeah, the time the Black Panther Party and all of those things. So, as a young black youth coming up from the Caribbean, when you go to Harlem, like I say, I never get that great sense of blackness in the Bronx like how you get when you go to Harlem. Harlem was alive, black place, you know what I mean?
Yes,
When it
I.
comes to black consciousness, yeah. And you'd pass and hear man on the corner I profess and declare blackness and the what them call them black Jews them speak about the tribes of Israel scattered.
Hebrew Israelites.
Hebrew Israelites, my Lord, give thanks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. You come aware in those days of the Hebrew Israelites, you know, talking about the plight of the black man and that what you see in the movies and stuff, they stole our history, you know, that we are the true Israelites.
Mm,
Yeah. hmm Which in its essence, it a build a foundation in a you where later it a go transform into Rasta consciousness. Because when you get that information, whenever I get that in a Jamaica about being black Jews,
mm,
never, yeah, cause me never associate someone grew up and go at the Bobo camp or Rasta camps at that time. I never attended that. My Rasta beginning start up in the Bronx, you know, in the 1970s, 76. I man start put on I man covenant and listening to the Hebrew Israelites and seeing their connection as I and I as your people.
mm,
When the Rasta man in the park would have start talk about Haile Selassie and Revelation chapter 5:5, that start to connect, you know? Yeah, man, that start to connect. I remember in the Bronx, we had a park by College Avenue where we used to go play ball and all of them thing, and you had one and two Rasta man over there where you start reason and listen to, you know? Yeah. And the knowledge start to increase of our awareness of being the children of God that were scattered all abroad and seeking to make an identity with these knowledge that we're getting, you know. You start to research now and come upon His Imperial Majesty and His place in the Bible, the
mm,
fulfillment, yeah. And there we start a journey in 1977. No, that time I was going to college, City College, which was in Harlem also. So like me say, walking through Harlem, moving through the other library called Arthur Schomburg Library, which was I think the major black library at that time in the United States. And we went to the library to seek out books on Ethiopia. And when we find the books them with His Majesty, by the time we go back the second week, we're restricted. You can't get no book on Ethiopia unless you show them some ID and write down, say you borrowed a book if I cut out the whole of the picture them of His Majesty out of the book there. You don't see it.
yes,
I will consider it say, oh, they might hide these things from us, so we are liberate. You don't know the
yes, sir.
father, you know? Yeah, man, Arthur Schomburg Library. Very important library for a year. Dr. Clark say when him start him journey in seeking to learn about African history and him go ask Mr. Schomburg where would he find those books, and Mr. Schomburg tell him that African history is hidden and embedded in the books of world history. So you're not going to find much books, African books or African history books independent of itself.
Mm,
You know, you'd have to study in the books of world history where them hide.
mm-hmm.
the African place and the African history and the African partaking in history in those books. Yeah, so as we increase in our awareness and our blackness in ourselves, you know, we start to get into those books, seeking out the tradition of our people and the history of our people, you know? Yeah,
My lord.
Rastafari.
Yes, I. Quite interesting. Yeah, quite interesting, my lord. Yeah. Um. So, okay. The I put on your Congo and thing.
Yes.
What inspired that? What really inspired that at the time?
Um, just the whole reality where we come to within ourselves of being an oppressed people, and that Rastafari stand for anti-colonial, a revolt against colonialism. After we see the black civil rights movement and how black man was treated, you know, and you see these things on TV, you identify with that set of people
Mm.
that start to get a more mature identity of ourselves. And the fact say we want to be free of that colonial mind, colonial lifestyle where remember, you know, them parents are saying we to go to school, go to college, get a nice job, trim your hair, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a different child. Used to have a book or read named A Different Drummer. And I start to identify with that idea that within us, within I man personally, I was hearing a different drum sound than what the rest of certain people was hearing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I man I get a call to a different thing. You see it? So with the man them in the park, the Rasta man them in the park and more talking and more reading and studying black history in college, you start to get a sense of wanting to leave out of this place, wanting to leave to go to our homeland because we not identify ourselves as being American. We identify ourselves as being Africans. So you start to aspire to going to Africa. Well, you start to aspire of leaving Babylon. The music in the 70s and stuff, all the Rasta music, them create that mindset, you know. Africa must be free by 1983. So we are look towards all of these things. 7 miles of Black Star Line are coming in the harbor and all of these things. And
Mm-hmm.
you start to, yeah, you start to resonate with that kind of energy there, you know. I've been a black man that been oppressed and son of people that been oppressed for how much 100 years. And you want to come out of that. So we want to
Rastafari.
leave. Yes, we want to leave out of Babylon. Go live in Mount Zion with King Rastafari, you know. So we young Rasta beginning in the 1977. Now, 1977, they had a blackout in New York for about 26, 27 hours. And them time there, Me and Priest Turks and two other brethren. I'm on the drop out of school and we start live together. We get an apartment and we start live together and start a journey as a brotherhood. The four of us moving and bringing the Empress them and all of that. But I remember 1977 when time they had a blackout. We did have a van. We used to do messenger work with the airline. Pick up the when people lose them baggage,
Yeah.
we would have deliver them, carry them to them house and deliver them. And so we had a step van, you'd have call that, to do the job. And when time the blackout and you have whole heap of man just a go in a store and broke up window and take out things. And the man them come pan with door every half hour. Man them a say, come use up and go for the store, go get some things and get some things. And I say, that. I remember we sit on a beat, jump, and I sing and a chant. And the man them keep a knock on the door every set of man. You know? We go rob store and rob them things. And that never in our spirit. You know? Yeah. We'd see that like a sign from Jah. One of the sign them I say, if you left them place here, for Jah go smite them place here, we look for a destruction in a Babylon. That was like a sign to us, in 1977. I remember Marcus song we say, when the two sevens clash, what a big something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that did coincide with that happening and that enhance our meditation to want to leave this place, you know?
My Lord.
So yeah, but while he was in the Bronx, we start having meetings. Wednesday evening we had Bible reasoning and Friday night we'd have play the drums and sing and chorus. We had two youth was Ella Rasta to us. Maybe 5 or 6 years. Bugs and Spooky and our next bridge, they dead. Them dead as now. But them used to teach us the chorus and the chant and it became a big gathering. For we did have they made two apartments, two-bedroom apartments into one. So it's like a four-bedroom apartment on fifth floor. And quite a few of the bridging them who end up down a yard down a Bobo Hill. And that's how we start a journey together, you know? Yeah. I keep reasoning Wednesday night, Bible reason, and beat the bongo jump Friday night, not even realizing, say, we are get drawn towards the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause we never have no link with no one but them two Rastaman. One of them was a Rastaman from my youth, born in Jamaica and as a Rastaman and chad up here, So call him Vilo. Yeah. And enough chorus him man the teacher and start another mindset, towards the praises of Rastafari, you know. So
My Lord.
we never go down the road with the
Criminal gun.
gunplay and yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm.
That kind of draw we out from early.
So how they I them hear about King Emmanuel at the time? Was there Bobo in New York, Brooklyn, and them space there at the time?
No, no, my lad. We are the first set about them.
What?
What happen is Listen, man. What happened was we had a bridging named Brandel going to City College. And him come from around a Ramsey Road where we'd have from around where Priest Fliego and next bridging named Harpo. And I forgot the next priest name where him passing now. So him association with them make him wind up on the hill.
Mm.
And so remember when time before me even drop out of college where we used to sit down on the lunch table down in City College. And them time them in a music much. We'd have a little set and pure Rasta music me a play. Matter of fact when time we play out, my brethren we own the set and most of the record them. Him play everything else. When time it come to the Rasta segment I man play. But me have my two box with pure special Rasta music, you know.
Mm.
But round the table, Brandel was a musician. Him make a little band and sing to music too. Him is a writer. And one of the day me see him with a little red book. And he must say it was a redemption songbook. And he must say enough inspiration him get out of that book there to write him music. Say where you get that from? And I tell you now about go down a yard and go check him bridge in them and a man they turn Bobo so him go up on the hill go visit, you know. And that was the first introduction to any reason about Bobo Hill that I and I did get. No man in a turban, no out of the group of we that used to gather when we live in the building and it have the psalms reading and the singing. We live on the fifth floor, a set of man live on the third floor, and a set of man live on the first floor. You know, priest Itafa him used to go up on the first floor.
Mm.
And priest Aikil, him did up on the third floor, him and priest Diego. So priest Aikil come from around the same area with Jafligo them. And when him go down a yard, him go up on the hill also and was introduced to the culture. And him coming back was our first introduction to Bobo culture. You know? I mean, Brandel let go, but him never account to the culture. Him glorify the liberty and all of that. But Priest Akil as a young man, yeah, Akil, not Aikil, Akil, him name.
Mm.
Bring back the culture and tell you one of the times say when him a reason with the father say him have three priests in the house if come to him. Well, me and priest Turks fulfill that. The other two brethren never come. And along the journey, them on the pathway still. Last one passed about 2 years ago in Africa. But that was our first connection with Bobo and Bobo culture. You know? As a young man go down and come back up after a couple of months. And I think him spend a long time down there. And then now we start to keep Sabbath.
Mm.
But yeah, then bring back the culture with the Sabbath. Priest Turks go down in a 76 also and come back up. Never put on turban, but we start to hold the culture, Sabbath, and getting into the more spiritual aspect of Rastafari. While someone was just into a cultural trad as Rastaman, you know, it's just about the colors and the talk and them thing there. And I was more into the churchical order for we love. I man personally have a love for the churchical order, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was a great part of my development, you know, because I was the man that read the psalm them When time we da have Psalms reading, not Psalms reading, but Bible reading on Wednesday and have discussions, you know,
My
start
lord.
beat a little drum and all of them thing there. Now, we resisted. We'd have a brethren down in a Brooklyn with the rest as set of rashes that take on to the Ethiopian World Federation and then bring the charter up to us and I say we should be part of the Ethiopian World Federation. But even before we know Bobo, we never want to join a group because we'd have a set of where we go to the Orthodox Church. I let my senior brethren where we used to go school with pastor now. Him go to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church because we are say Haile Selassie I bring this church to Africa, I mean to America, you know. So we should associate with it from where Haile Selassie I. But to become part of the church, them say you have to trim. And we young in a Rasta man, for relax mean more to it than, than that. So we resist that. So we not go to Orthodox church and we not join no EWF either, you know. We just independent. But we had quite a little following, my lad, you know. Can name at least 10, 12 man out of the gathering. We wind up as priests or go down a Bobo Hill. Quite a few man out of that setting there, you know.
See,
Mm,
see,
mm-hmm.
Rasta. So, the I experience I go the camp now for the first time.
Yes.
What was the I expectation based on what honorable priest Akil and honorable priest
I
Turk
kill, I kill.
Ikeel,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
based on their how them relate things back to the I. What was the I expectation when the I get there?
Um, my lad, I'm another man where I'm man used to say, I'm man no accept nothing where I not understand. I'm man have to understand a thing. So my whole meditation was you want to ask this elder questions that me have where as a young ras coming up were not answered,
Hmm.
you know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cause remember say now we rise up as young Rastaman and say Haile Selassie is the fulfillment of Revelation 5:5, which says the return of Christ going to be the man with the titles of Kings and Lord of Lords. So when I presented with the concept of a black Christ different than Haile Selassie, it was a challenge to I. So I man want to ask about these things.
My
You
lord,
know?
my lord.
Yeah, yeah. So when I got on a yard, I never got to stay. I was on a journey, like I say, me and the brethren them start develop a meditation. We want to leave Babylon. And I man go down with a small change to go see if we can buy a piece of land, you know. And the man who come meet me and carry me up at the hill was Prophet Harper that me I say him and Jafligo come from the same on a Ramsey Road that side there, you know. And as a Bobo and when you hear them man the talk of King Emmanuel, you know, yeah, as a young man, you're influenced.
My lord.
And you want to meet this man and you want to, ask all the questions where as a young Ras you want to know and understand. So when I went up on the hill, going through the gate, when you look on the place, from you go through the arch and go into the place, you get a whole different feeling. You don't feel like the road where you come from. There was a serenity in going into through the arch and into the yard wherein you feel like there was something different here. 'Cause remember we have played drum and gatherings in a New York City, but the solace and the serenity of the place. I mean, like you step in a whole different world.
Mm.
Going to service for the first time, Sabbath service, that was another joy that even though we used to clap and sing and do all of these things in New York, to come and see a order set out with the worship of Haile Selassie was, yeah, uplifting, you know. It's a transformational moment in life because as a man that just within my heart take on to the scriptures and the spiritual way of life. This was like you find a beehive and you get a taste of honey.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. That was my first time going a camp. But
right
I
there.
I would I only went to keep Sabbath for a couple of weeks. I'd go up Friday and come back down Sunday. And then as it's sweeter, you go up Friday and I come back till Monday. Before you know it, you did it all till Tuesday.
Mm.
Yeah, the glory of it, my lad, was captivating to say the least. Huh?
Rastafari,
Mm-hmm.
Rastafari, and and meeting the man now for the first time now. What kind of experience that like? You know, yeah, I hear so much about this man, and you have so much questions. You know, meeting him now and getting the opportunity, for interact and share with him and hear what him have to say. What was that like?
I hadn't had a elder Rasta man sit down and reason with all my journey. Yes, me have a older brethren amongst us, but him him never have that type of that level of explanation to explain things about Rastafari
Mm.
that time I was looking for. You know? I love the time spent amongst him and the input in a eye development. But when I went to King Emmanuel, I did just still see him as a elder, Father Moses, because when you go them time there, most of the documents that you saw at the end of it, him say, Father Moses, the Lord's servant.
Mm.
So that's the level of time I did have him pan from beginning. But like I say, the challenge in my mind when time I hear the man them call him the Black Christ. As to how could he be Christ when Haile Selassie is Christ?
Mm.
Because I come with that in my mind, I know this.
Mm-hmm.
That Haile Selassie, I never believe. I know say Haile Selassie are the Christ because that consciousness rising on me. So me I say, oh, him fi say my Christ, me accept him as the black shepherd Moses, you know. But the level of Christ wasn't as open to me at that point.
You
So
never did a rank him there, so.
no, no. Cause like me say, Me never have no Bobo culture me within that sense. You see it? Talk
and
about the hill upon the hill.
yeah.
Talk to me.
So Revelation 5 must
Yes.
be playing something in the head for you say, all right, me connect the emperor Zine with Revelation 5 because the emperor bear these titles that Revelation 5 actually talk about. You know, the
Yes.
lion, the tribe of Judah, and so
Yes.
on is majesty, all those titles. So
Yes.
where that is concerned, that alignment is perfect. So
Yes.
the I know want to find out. So which part you know fit Bongo Eddie in a this where is it you're sitting on the throne or where is it you because His Majesty is the one that already have these title in reality. So where does Bongo Eddie fit
Fit
in that
into, yes.
into that
Now,
prophecy and history?
remember now, when time we come to Rastafari, we grew up most of our life within the different Christian churches. At one time I was going to a Catholic church, and me had an incident with it where me walk away from the church for mother used to have my grandmother used to grow chickens and sell to the supermarket, you know? And me had to take care of them before me go to school a morning time, feed them and water them, and go to school. One day one of the chicken them get out and me I run him down all about the yard and me I get late and me get angry and pick up a stone and fling a fire and I lick him and kill him. And guilt take me so when me go to church, I go confess to the boy for that was the Catholic way. And him tell me say, if he say, seven our father, seven Hail Mary, which is me diary with still. When him tell me say no, me have to go walk around the church and pick up paper. And me ask where that have to do with God. So me start the journey, my lord, and me say well Hail Mary and me say me this and go out there and I pick up paper. And the spirit say, but this not nothing to do with God. Hmm? Boy I use me to clean up him place. And me just walk out. And from that, me no go back to that church there.
Yes, that.
Yeah, so within the movement now, me as a young man at that age spend all of my life as what you'd call a Christian or associated with Christian church. So our concept of God lies within what we was learning then.
Yeah.
Christ, the only begotten Son of God, is only one man. So that's why I know it was challenging to me after me identify that one man, that the next man say him is Christ. So that was another first thing me want to clarify with the Father. And them used to just call him the Father, because never did really grow up with a father. I meet my father two, three times in a life, spend a day with him and never see him again. So when we come to Dada and I reason with Dada and things, the love and the fatherhood that him present to me is like an embrace. The gentleness of his tone and the patience for listen to me and answer my question. Him come fulfill a role where me did missing all through my journey. But me still have this Christian concept of Christ, the supernatural And I saw me that look upon even His Majesty. So one of the first questions me I go ask King Emmanuel, I say, my Lord, I'm an accept Haile Selassie as the fulfillment in the prophecy of the second coming of Christ. So how can you say that you are the Christ? Never say him are the Christ, him say him is the black Christ. There's a little difference where we have to understand. And Jah just smile with me and say, my Lord, Joseph is Christ, Moses is Christ, David is Christ, I'm an afraid of Christ. Now that spin around my head that moment. Far, like me say, coming out of the Christian background, there's only one begotten Son of God.
And
And
that
that day him
Jesus.
change, yes,
Yeah.
that day him change my understanding of Christ, not as one individual, but as an entity that wear more than one personality or more than one body over time. You understand? And there begin my journey in the acceptance of Bobo Shanti and the other. You see it? But then me understood where him was, you know? So the man say, any Moses is I, any Selassie is I, any Marcus is I. Selassie, Jah Rastafari. And we say, okay, my lord, I got it. And just set himself for the next couple of days, weeks. Not after him read him newspaper in the morning, after, the brethren them would go get him newspaper and read and listen and, reason upon them things. I man come with I man questions. And did I have questions, for, like me say, me was the type of person me say, me can't practice nothing or accept nothing when me not understand. And just take him time, my lord, and carry me step by step till me come understand myself as part of the kingdom of God. Because all your life you go to Christian church, hear them thing there. That you're a part of the kingdom of God. You're taught to look to this man Jesus as the only savior, the only God. You understand? Yeah. And here this man was introducing me to, yeah man, God in more than one person, you know?
So,
And so the concept, go ahead.
yeah, go on, my lord. I will ask. Yeah, go on.
the concept now of God in three persons became more palatable. You understand?
Yes, I.
Yeah, as a prophet, priest, and king. Because before that, just one man can be God and a Jesus, you know? And then we renew it and say, Jesus now is Haile Selassie. That's his new name, Jagat, Terrible and Dread, you know?
Yes, I.
So we are look upon Haile Selassie as the Jesus. Until Jacob make we understand even greater than that, you know, of the Christ within ourselves, all of us.
So, so Prince Emmanuel wasn't saying that he was the Christ, the Jesus Christ, 2,000
No,
years
my
ago.
lord. No, my lord. That's not what I got from Dada. Dada say, him had a vision that he was hung, not crucified, hung at Mother White Bridge when him young. See? So him say, when him start him journey, I don't know if it was Bakawal him get it, but declaring Christ as a black man, a church in England, I think it was St. Etheldreda's Baptist Church, sent him a picture. And you will see there's a picture with Dada with it, where there was a black man and a cross, you know? And Jah was identifying Christ as a black man. So Jah say, as a man of right, you know, him is Moses, him is Abraham, we call him Father Abraham, Father Moses, Jesus the Christ, you know. But him never tell we say him is the Christ that did upon the cross from 2000 years ago.
Mm.
Because if you notice the culture of Bobo, when we sing the hymn them, we don't deal with the Christ, with the cross. So that was not something that him put out. That's why we know we are no pendant with no cross. None of the literature them we have it talk of the man 2000 years ago did upon a cross, but not of him that are in this dispensation. You know?
My Lord, Rastafari. So why is it that then Bobo Shanti is seen as like a Christian sect within the movement of Rastafari?
The awakening of King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, you know. I'll hear the story of when time him dip on the ladder and him come to the awakening when him drop off of the ladder. Cause Jah did a tell him say him have this work for do. He was a revivalist from youth coming up. If you read in the biography that Sister Angela write, the family is saying that when time he was young,
Mm.
he used to gird himself with a straw thing around him waist and have a long, like a long gown. And I guess from that time he must see himself within the consciousness of Christ. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So he must model after how Christ would have look. Eh?
My Lord.
So his days before becoming Rastafari, accepting Haile Selassie, he was a revivalist talking of black Christ, of Christ being a black man. That was for him teaching,
Mm.
you know. And as him journey, he become more aware of the Christ consciousness within himself. That is how he would have separate from the rest of races. The rest of races saw him and was comfortable with him as the black Moses, you know. When time he make this step up of Christ within himself, of the consciousness of Christ within him. So as a man of right, you are an expression of the Christ consciousness.
Mm.
At a level that are depend. We come with the Christian ethos and I say, and him is the Christ. But when me get from him when time him tell me about Moses and something was that him is a Christ. For Christ manifest in a more than one temple
My Lord.
over time.
My
You
Lord.
understand?
Yes, I.
Yeah, yeah. So
Rastafari.
that I would tell me now about the journey where him get a vision. I mean never even identify what he was saying until him say at the end of the story again, him remind me say that little man in the bowl hat. That's when we start realize say I Selassie I'm a talk about. Him say so in the vision this man say him have some pet that him want him take care of, you know? And when him carry him to the place where the pet was, it's like a long yard where it will go around like a U. You go up and turn and come back out. And all along was cages. But the pets were lions. Now, the one them farthest away in the back, some big lion when time, just when time them lion they roar, roar, the whole place shake. And then
Rasta.
and And then the other lion them no answer. You know, like one time you hear, you lay down and hear dog a bark and
Mm-hmm.
you have certain dog when time them start bark and then all of the little dog them answer.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And the understanding them we get out of it when Jah tell me the story. Just say by the time the man tell him say other work him have to do and him a look for Suwago and when him turn around, the little man at the bowl that disappear and him have these all of these lions to go take care of. So just say when him study the whole thing and recognize say the one them in at the back, the bigger lion them, at them cause the uproar and the stirring up. So him say him have to feed them one day first. And when him feed them one day, chew them now, stir up and make noise, then the other one them calm down. And this is the vision where the father say, I Selassie I give him I and I for take care of I and I of the lion them. And as me I talk to my teacher priest came the other day and me I say, within that understanding now me I say, just say him take on the leaders of group all the way like how me and Priest Turks and the man them was like somewhat of a leader for the group. That's why him say him have them priests there for come to him out of the house there. Every wave of man that come in have a leader or a man that are the big man for the group, you know? And once Jah calm them man there with the food of seven, then the other man them come in and follow. So Jah show me how him get to deal with Israel, you know, by taking on the strong man them and the mighty man them, you know. And once him win them out there, then the rest of the lion them follow. You see it? Yes, my lord. So
My lord. Yes, I.
I will leave a story that tell me, my lord, it'll take all night.
So
But
that's yeah.
the more the man reason with me, and the more me come aware of the iriness and the glory in other manner, that the specialness of the man. I mean, always, me think of it like, you know, when time you da go to school and them give a passage, a paragraph or a page with sentences and paragraph, but there are blank spots in it, and you have a set of words on the side, and you have to know the right word for fitting of the sentence. You remember them thing there?
Yeah, man. Yes, I.
All right. Well, I saw my picture, me and Dada reasoning that all the blank spot them I may have and the question them that fill them in for me until one day the question them I may have in my mind is like me don't know if me don't even think Jah get frustrated for when Jah is with me. Would I say some things and you can see say Jah no in line with that. And Jah would have look at me and say, my lord, this is how I would have see it. Then I look at me and say that is a stupid question, you know, or a foolishness he attack. And that me love about him, that him deal with you to the level where you are to bring you up. You understand?
Yes, I.
Till you come, as the man say, I not teach him, I teach you nothing new. He might bring us to the remembrance of who we were, who we are. You see it? So, yeah, me see the day just say, all right, my lad. And just start talk. And all of a sudden, the rest of the blank spot them I have for my paper just full up without me ask the question. And they just look at me and laugh. And we know, say, my journey, my questioning journey now, I come to a close. And just say, my lad, I'm going to tell you something today that you're not going to find in a book. Him say the first man is the black man. The first son going to be the Chinese, and then the Indian, and then the last man of the European. So him say the black man bring all of them, my lord. And I the father and mother of creation. Black man bring all other nations. And that make us royalty. See it? I'm saying I find that in a book and just smile. And after that day, them not ask him no more question. I full up my heart that day there, you know what I mean?
My
I say,
Lord.
no, yeah, a time for you go in yourself now and check out the rest of things, you know? I carry as far as I can. And then the following week, him look for me and say, my lord, so every day you say, Father, Father. Son not ready to be like the Father. I say, yes, my lord. So God bless me and put on my turban, you know?
See?
Yeah. Yeah, man. And within 2 months, 3 months, I make me a priest, you know? And just said to me, say, when we give a man a priest, you know, my lord, it's not something that is not like something that you work for and deserve, you know. I'm giving you something for you to build yourself towards. You understand? Aye. Enough man will come and I say, he might do this and do that and him to become a priest. Find saying at the journey him take long to get priesthood. And feel like a something where him earn. No. Just see a light in you. And I say, might give you a standard for you build yourself towards over time. You know? And for that me ever glorify.
My
You know?
Lord.
Selassie Rastafari.
Rastafari. Yeah. Yeah, interesting, my lord, because, I remember growing up still, and
Yes.
as a young Bobo, coming at the culture and thing, we aspire, to
Yes.
become a priest, my lord, or even to, before becoming a priest who wasn't crowned, that was our aspiration, to get crowned, and from getting crowned, becoming a priest, you know.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's just funny how the eye does say that, is not something that you work towards,
It's
It's
not something that it's not something that you earn.
yeah, something that
You
you
see it?
earn. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that him gear to build yourself towards. You see it? For that's why you start out as an acting priest, you know. To train, you know? Yeah. But you have to carry a certain spirit. You see it? So remember now, just sit on the throne around our headquarters, you know. So then I see I mean, you come and you heal that them days they used to go up a morning time, you get up and you go heal the Father, you know, you get a blessing and you go about your business and do what you do. Is the man them who their own job, Priest Jackie mainly, who used to point out the spirit and the spiritual minded man them. And that's how you get select to become an acting priest. You see it? Yeah. One of the elder them say, my lord, you know that man there, you know, move like a priest, you know? Yeah. But remember say no, we did get the word from me there in New York. They just say him have three priests to come to him because he already living at the house. One man never finally come down. You see it? Yeah. And we come get the fulfillment there through the love of God. You know? That done upon the journey already. So me I see myself now within that sense say, we're born to this. You see it? Yeah, we're born to do this. You know? For we are function within that capacity even before we come to the Father, even before we know the Father. So the man say, it's an internal, an inborn tradition. Is the spirit them come back to a father line and a mother's womb. But are the same angel them and disciple them where that trod with Christ 2,000 years ago. You see it? And him bring we back. As in did promise to say, from a stand with him, rise with him. You
Mm.
know? Yeah. So man, come on,
And go.
identify we and give it that glory in ourselves. Give it the other way. From we live it, then we step up as the chorus say. Him lifted us up from the miry clay, planted us on the king's highway. Our perception of the king was sing reggae music and smoke weed and all of them things there. It's like it's a freedom still, but it never identify as with a purpose.
Mm.
You understand?
Yes,
A
I.
Jah come give you the purpose. You know? Man say as a priest, you minister to life. You know, see it? Yeah. So you have to take up that mission then now. Minister to life, minister to black people, minister to the justice of black people, agitate for the rights and the justice of black people. That start to give you a cause to live for. Not just to sing, just to listen to reggae music and smoke and say you're irie,
Yeah, true.
but to take up the cause where the man say, my journey upon this journey and him have a fulfillment to do. And if you see I resonate with that cause, then you can journey with the man. You see it?
My
Yeah.
lord.
Cause when me come and tell that I say me want buy a piece of land, when other man a tell me say, oh, you could have find God and want go someplace, here where the God a tell me say, my lad, well if you go look piece of land, go east, don't go with some other white bridge and lease the land. Don't buy it for you know want tie down yourself in a Jamaica. You see it? Cause even though we aspire to go to Africa or move from New York was just to get out of Babylon. But we expect this judgment in a Babylon. For the wickedness where we see them do to the people, we know say it must face a judgment. You understand? So we want to run you out of the judgment and the place where we're familiar with a Jamaica, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go down there, the man appointed to a greater destiny. See it? Yeah. The man say, head over east, my lad. You know?
Look to the
Or
east.
yes, my lad, Yeah. Cause him say Jamaica, America backyard. All the garbage where go on America come down on Jamaica little later. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the principles and all the violence where as young youth we are watch on TV, gun cowboy show and all of them thing there. I saw them build you up in this violence and this aggression towards one another.
Mm-hmm.
You know, see it? Yeah. And the Rasta man come now to save you out of that mindset there. Of killing off a brother and take you out of the mindset of self hate, which them teach us through them enslavement and Willie Lynch syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
where you divide up the people them who light brown you treat them better than the dark ones. So him put fences and barriers between us as a people.
Yeah.
You understand? And his job will bring me back now to this wholeness of one people. That's why even when time man did come and I talk about 12 tribes, to just say him then no tribe, but one tribe. Because we just one people. You know, see it?
Yes, I.
Yes, my lad.
Um, Prince Emmanuel ever get angry?
Yes, my lad.
What was that like?
I experienced that, my lad. Yeah, man. I raise him vice, man. And man drop down in front of him,
What?
man. Yes, my lad. Yeah, man.
Literally?
Yes, my lad. Whole set wash him and drop down. Remember, yeah, man.
No. No, sorry for laugh, but
Yeah, man. A
what?
reality, my lad. Yeah, man. And That is not a regular doings
Yeah.
with King Emmanuel, but as natural man,
Mm-hmm.
when him hear certain things and so him get wrath. And sometimes he miss your words that later, when him get a better understanding of the situation, him change that word.
Seeing.
You see it? Yeah. But the day I got me was one of the go market with Priest Jackie. Priest Jackie and Priest Brownie are market man. Priest Brownie buy the dry goods, you know, flour and the rice and the meal and stuff like that. And me and Priest Jackie go in at the market and buy ground food and all of these things.
Mm.
So a situation come up where Priest Jackie are the elder to me. He just come and I run with him and he make a bad move and the budget where we have, we could only buy 25 coconut at a time. Every 4 days we go to the market. We go market Monday and then Thursday again. And a woman from St. Thomas, situation is him take on more than where we could have paid for.
Mm.
And so when we go back the next time I market, we have to go pay for that. So that short the money for buy the things them for maintain us
Mm.
until the next market day.
Yeah.
And when time a priest declare back certain things never buy and certain things short and just call you up and say, oh this go. And me have my list where everything where we buy me write down and show the father and say, true, we did have to pay for that. Why we couldn't buy these things? And Jarat from Priest Jacky. Yeah man for him say, me should have been aware of that. But him give the elder priest the I wouldn't call it a judgment, but him anger was right reason, my lad. Priest Jackie have to flee from Rona Rona Dada for the moment for a couple of hours. And Jaya the great King Emmanuel charged us as a father to us. Time him cool long, ready for burn him chalice, him say, Priest Jackie. And say, my lad. You know what the car over so down. Say, send for him, my lad. Send him come. Just say, my lad, tell you something. This man here, so when time I get angry, I just angry. So when time that done, his brethren see him, yes. So up the herb and make we on the chalice.
Yes, that's far.
And
Yeah.
that was a aspect of God that make me love even deeper for him. You know? Him not carry judgment and have that judgment attitude. Yeah, if you keep up following him give you a little, you know? But you not carry feelings. That me want to say. You know? When time it done and gone. You see it?
Mm.
Next moment you come, you're free. You're free. Everything all right. You see it? So one of the lessons, you know?
My lad. My lad.
Yes, my lord. Yes.
Let me ask the eye this, Honorable Priest. Can we truly say that, we are a government without a functioning parliament?
When we come, the structure of how the government was running, because the father was there, then as the leader and the king, him running a theocracy type of government.
Mm.
I mean, what him say goes. As the increase of the population on the hill, because when I go about 60 something people live up on the hill, I think the book's about 68. When time I did it, and down at the kitchen, I was given the task of running the kitchen after a while. I mean, started out writing pamphlets and we tell that I say, as an outsider coming in, when me read the pamphlet them, when me in the culture, me can understand it, but as an outsider, it wasn't as plain. So we wanted to write the pamphlet them in what you'd have called plain English, being educated and say we know for the things, you know? And Jah dictated to us, to Iman, priest Rocco, and priest Aikeel, and Iman right, and Iman right, from what I understand from the father. And it added, I don't remember what page or how many page was in the Black Supremacy at the time, but when we done right, it came up to be 100 pages. And I added that to the Black Supremacy. And I did help to write some pamphlet at the time. But man I say what I write wasn't in the language of how that attack it. Remember priest Taffa used to give me that problem there. You have to talk it like how that attack it. And me I say, but at that me tell the father say, oh you talk it if a person not in the Rasta culture and for read it, it's hard for them to understand and just say, make it in a plain English that them can understand. That is one of the reasons why we never adopt the I kind of language that the rest of Rasta man them did not talk because the father say we come for all black people. It wasn't just Rasta people. Come for all black people. Go home. So if you are going to teach them, you have to talk to them in the language that them understand. Now, when the Rasta man developed in the early part of the tradition, to be able to communicate with each other without the Ballad people seen as the enemy, not from Bobo Shanti, not from Prince Emmanuel concept. All black people was his children. As Father Moses, him come to lead all black people. So the Ballad, the Kome, the police, all of them. While the Rastaman from the outside was seeing them as enemy of bonfire for Ballad and all of them thing there. So they develop a language of communicate with each other that they would not understand. And just say, him a talk in a language for the people them to understand what him saying. That's why I say, we not say overstand and I this and I that. Start the English plain for that the people them understand. That was a difference with the tradition of King Emmanuel versus some of the other elders. That him saw the journey not just on the Rastafari plane, but on the human rights and justice plane. That's why Jawda take the Jamaica government to court for the injustice of black people, not just Rasta people, while the rest of Rasta man them fighting for we would have like the United States for civil rights that are fight for the human rights. And so first me go get a more intense training towards human rights. Because you hear about these things going to school and going to college and all of them things, but it not hit you so much because you're in the United States. But when time you recognize say enough of these basics rights were deprived from black people in third world countries and Africa and all of these things. Since that have come for the justice of these people, then it might operate on a whole different plane. So oftentimes the other groups and Rastaman them I look community center and I look what them can get from the government. Just say him not take nothing from them. All him want a freedom redemption, international repatriation. You see it? So that depend on a whole different level. When you that they are road with the Rasta man them and attack, when you used to gather and all of them thing there, it's like word and language is the most some of the most important things. While for that the justice of the people is where I deal with. So that I step away from them and the separation they come. Now when I come to camp I miss them had a gathering on the hill from 1978 where Raspido tell me when time the man them I look say them want a reasoning to bring Rasta community to a them call it unity, to a unity. There was no place amongst the different groups them that them could have come and not be at war. Peer argument and thing, you know, you hear them say lion and lion. So them ask and one man say, I only one place we can have this and we not no war and fight, you know, up a bongo ready. So them apply and just give them the freedom. That is why even I am man and certain other man see say, Jah never in opposition to the rest of Rastaman them. The separateness is because him focusing on a heights and a level where the next Rastaman, enough of the next Rastaman them never reach it. You understand? Now at this conference that I hear is the same Prophet Apo who did carry me up on the hill for the first time. I detail certain aspects of that conference that I'm at. And so when everybody talk and that I sit down, they're just humble. And when time them talk and them say, well, them have to give the father. And like me say, them a look at him as Father Moses, the last talk. So when that arise, Jahapo say, him look on plano. Cause all through the reasoning, plano are the elder for the rest of them. Him said to plano, say, my lord, if the eye did still there beside me up until now, you don't think could I reach much farther? And after all him big talk and everything, him say, plano how long him made. I say, yes, my lord, that's a natural. They obviously say, man them did that journey together, but this ego, everybody want to lead them on. As the father say at the conference in 58, all of them was together. And when the conference is done, you had 50 group of Rasta rising in Jamaica. For all the big lion them, you remember the story about the lion them? All of the big lion them become the leaders with them on a different group, you know? But Jah the Father where did I feed them? You see it? All of them used to gather a back a wall. But when time dada, you can to establish the church, the Sabbath keeping and all of them thing there. The father man them never in and put on a turban, them want to be warriors where them say the saying say you holy priests, warriors and traitors. So they must see themselves not as the priests, but as warriors. So that's why them always in a confusion and war amongst themselves, even until today. You see it? Yeah. So that was a lesson to me when time the prophet tell me where Dada asked Martin Upland how him answer. Submitted to the reality say if them did stay together, the Rastafari movement would have gone much further. So hearing from other brethren that another a second session a reason was scheduled.
Mm.
Yeah, priest dog name it, say them did get all a name and something like that. I mean I remember that now, you know? And when the day come, the man him never show up. And Jah was agitated, to say the least, because them never fulfill them word for Jah see the greater movement forward if the man them would have come back together as them was at back a wall. But just like the OAU and where Kwame Nkrumah did say, if we let go the sovereignty of the individual king and leader and going at the oneness of one unit, let us form the union before, because from man become king and leader and them thing, them no want to give up them position there. And the same thing happen with the Rasta movement. No man no want to give up them position, submit to one leadership. And so you get 15 different group of Rasta. And probably more than that now. Is it?
Seeing, seeing,
Yeah,
seeing,
yeah.
seeing.
But the difference is the level where that did there. The man you know even start see cause just see God within himself, even though him identify Haile Selassie as him father, as our Godhead. Eh? He must still see the God within himself, the manifestation of Christ within him and within Marcus Garvey. So we get the Holy Trinity, Prophet, Priest, and King. The man the only I
Rastafari.
see, the man the only I see Christ's character in the King and not in no other flesh. So that become a sort of separation, you know? And them say we go on like we holy and we go on like with this. But yeah, when time you come to that consciousness of divineness within yourself, you live different, you talk different, you have a
Natural.
motivation that is greater. Because now you work on the 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 the, the liberation and the justice of all black people, just like Marcus Garvey. You see it? And when
True.
His Majesty say, I'm not only king of Ethiopia, I'm king of all black people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So the man they must see the universality of us as a people, while the Rastaman come up and because of the Christian upbringing that we have, we still have see this only begotten Son of God.
In a
I don't
one
see
man.
myself as I don't see myself as the sons of God. And
Natural.
even in the Bible it talk about the kingdom of God is in flesh. The kingdom of God is with man. Greater is in you than in all the world. No one now see that in a themselves. They want to see it in a Haile Selassie. Remember one of the virgin them where me say we come up with as the most elder to us. Just spooks. And just spooks used to say, we don't need to read no Bible. We don't need to read no other book. Only His Majesty word them. Because of the concept where we've been given as this Jesus Christ being superior and the only one you could call him name. So Rastafari is a revolution against even that. It recognizes God in flesh in Haile Selassie and King Emmanuel come extend that to Marcus Garvey, to himself, to Empress Meme and Queen Omega, and even I and I as sons. For the man say, same God in me, my lad, same God in you, you know. That level
Natural.
they know enough man now waiting to, and even some of our Bobo brethren them not even come to that within themselves yet. For them no want the responsibility. They would have prefer say only with Dada say. That means say if anything go wrong, I true Dada did say it. You understand? And no want take responsibility to make the changes within ourselves and therefore the change within our community and therefore the change within our race. Because that's so like you drop the pebble in the water so it has spread out, you know.
True.
So the truth have to spread out. You see it? And now we come see many of the man them from podcasts and all of them things. I come submit to that reality of God in flesh. You know? Father define it for we bring it the concept where them give it of one man as being God. The man come broke it down to it and say, yeah, the divine spirit in the whole of it. That's why I just say, when time we are judge, if we cast a judgment in the south field, you have the story me tell all the while of up on the hill and down at the kitchen and you have an honorable brethren priest Shani. And priest Shani dedicate himself, say, he want make a sandals for everybody in the yard. Every man, woman, and child. No one is supposed to walk barefoot in the yard. We not say walk barefoot, but not have a pair of sandals. So me come and me have a sandals. And when him build another sandals to me, down at the kitchen and a bridging, go in my house. No, so me get the new sandals. Go in my house, take out my sandals. We go to town, come back. And a man who see the scene, come pinch me and tell me, so me rat, my lad, for me, I say, me don't even wear it yet, you know, my lad. Rat, man, how you mean? Fireman. And me, I go around and just carry him to jail for me, I say, oh, if you get a judgment in this judgment ball. Yeah, me that look for you get a judgment half a deal too. For me, I say that a thief, thou shalt not steal, you know?
My Lord. My Lord.
And we go
Yes,
around
Lord.
there with the man, my lad, just send for the just send for the prophet. And when time I tell you the story and just say, oh, me agitated and upset. And just said to me, say, my lord, cast a judgment in the white world, in the south field. In the south field, him say, cast a judgment on the white world. And them said to be ungodly in ourselves. That me feel all the way to far coming like me accuse him wrongfully. You know what I mean? It never dawned on me in that state of mind. We say, a two pair of sandals me have and a man and not have a pair. And him borrow me sandals. The proper thing to do was to come and ask me. I mean, never go give me new sandals anyway. But
Majesty.
that mindset of
Yeah.
caring enough and loving your brother as you love yourself, me never steep in that moment. And just turn to him and say, my lord, I follow you keep up. Going at the man place. I just me get me justice. You see it? But
My Lord.
that was a lesson to me, a milestone in my understanding of this thing where we have amongst ourselves, we amongst Bobo now, we cast judgment on each other. But I say, we were created perfect. We did ira before them come bad away. And the brutality and the colonialization them carry through that make we have a self-hate and so easy to kill a man over nothing. Look how that Jamaica man I play domino a man get up and kill man over
Majesty.
domino. Some simple things. We go a party in a Brooklyn and the whole of we have to run. A man step on a man to a man drive him gonna shoot. The lack of that empathy for your brother. You understand? Yeah, is what them do to we over 400 years of bad treatment and wickedness. So, your teacher then say, if you pray for your brother, if you want to see him change from wrong to right, you know, for glad for want to give him judgment. And after me walk in that mindset and that consciousness there, you're not a man for quickly judge a man, you know? I
My
prefer give
Lord.
him a chance, you see it? And give him a word of correction
Mm.
than to, yeah, drop and forget judgment and, you know, the man, they are wicked. See, we develop them thing there, even amongst the sons of God, monks as priests and priests amongst yourself. You ever set a man and say, him not have nothing to do with them man there. The same disciples of Christ, the same Bobo Shanti, where we sing and eat and talk and keep service together and go as wood bush and stick bush and all of them things together and come to God as one children. Yet amongst yourself we have now nothing to do with them Monday. Them Monday. Once you get in that meditation there, it's like you now see the wholeness of we as one. You see it? And the Father did have we as one and teach we as one. With all we little the faults and all we little shortcomings. To make us operate as one. You see it? But once you come out of the foundation, the world give a whole different vibration and a different mindset. That's why it's important for a man keep up with him Sabbath and him service. You know, my lad?
True,
You keep
true.
in that frame of mind there as a son of Christ, as a Christ child, as a Christ within yourself. But we have to come to that reality as we go up the Jacob ladder, you know, as we increase in our awareness and increase in our liberty. The liberty supposed to uplift you. If it not uplift you, not do it right. You see it? Because the part where the man set for us to be uplifted within ourselves and come to a great. The more you're closer to God, is the more you and the next man who close to God become closer. And that are the source of unity, you know, my lord.
True.
The love for God. You see it? Yeah. And we have to come to that. For it's a kingdom the man come rise. You know? Yeah. And not just a handful away. It's a kingdom the
Rastafari.
man arise. The man says nation building him a deal with. And when we can accomplish that, then the greater African family can attain unto that through seeing us. You know the chorus where we sing say, have a little light in eye, going to make it shine. Eh? I mean say in a group of people you come monks as black people. You become the light for those that in the darkness. And the more enlightened people, and the more the glory of God grow. You see it? A man change them ways for that we are trying to attain to my Lord. That the man come for, you know? Yeah, for bring us all to a right within ourselves, my Lord.
My Lord.
Yeah,
Rastafari.
me talk so much that you didn't get to ask the questions, eh? Go and ask questions, my
Yeah,
Lord.
man. Yeah. Well, me did I ask the eye, can we truly say that we are a government without a functioning parliament? You know, that was the question
Okay,
I was
okay.
asking.
Me get
Yeah.
off of the chaka altogether, eh? Yes, my Lord. We have to get back to that where the Father did that transform us. As we evolve, the name from African National Congress,
Mm.
African Black National Congress, African Black Ethiopia, Africa Black International Congress, it developed over time. It evolved to where we are at now.
Yes, I.
There wasn't a parliament. You'd have a committee. When I come here about the 12 apostles, eh? But them never function within the manner where Jah want them to function. Them where the prophet them used to say, them are going like them are exalt lordship over the rest of the congregation. There wasn't a Woman Freedom Liberation League until from 1958 until I think 1982. I hear Empress Maisie say. So as the population increased, we get more directness and more functionality as a government within a government. We declare Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress and churchical, statical, governmental, parliamental. Even before there was a parliament. So you have these things line out along the way, but as we get to the different stages, we incorporate these things. So just started with a committee and then just say, you might establish a parliament. Now to I'm an understanding, you transfer from a theological, not a theological, what is the word I'm looking for? Like how His Majesty
Theocratic
was king. Theocratic. Thank you very much, my lord.
majesty.
From a theocratic setting to a parliamentary setting,
Mm.
and they might establish a 32 member parliament because we start out with one place in Jamaica, and then you add Trinidad, Bahamas, and then one start go to on the continent, and more island come in. So the 12 man or 13 member committee was wide enough to encompass all the things that are necessary for so many people.
Mm.
So just establish a 33 member parliament, him being the 33rd. Is a 32 member parliament with him as the head, 33. Now, the constitution come up also how to govern the government, but the constitution was made wrapped around Prince Emmanuel. All the authority and things of authority was to be dispensed through the Godhead,
Mm-hmm.
Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. The selection of the 32 member parliament was to be done by King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. That's what the Constitution said. The Constitution wasn't a finished document because the bylaws and certain like how long the members of the parliament to be like in terms of all of these things wasn't completed before that I passed away. So it left now within our responsibility to bring that reality of a 32 member parliament. And it wasn't seated while that I was there, you know.
Mm.
It was put on paper basically or put in the plan to be, but it never seated while that I was there. Not to my understanding, because I'm on left before these things would have come to.
So
See?
what the I say it wasn't fully operational then.
Not natural, my lad. I mean, you had members of parliament and all of these things, but the specific areas where Minister of Finance, Minister, I'm not aware. Let us be clear.
Mm.
Because Iman left in 86. Seeing? And these things develop after Iman come. You know? So more ones that were there after me might be able to clarify these points better. Seeing? But I'm saying because these things were not fulfilled then it leave within us as those coming with demand from then to make that thing fulfill.
Mm.
We're not going to have there was no understanding of having a next leader more than the shift from the one leader to a 32 member parliament.
So by the I saying that it does lead me to this question then.
Yes.
So, what kind of system then that really run the Congress? Is it a bloodline hierarchy, or is it what they talk about the
No, my lord.
33 and
Yes.
the 13 man committee?
Yes. John never culture us in no time that I was there or after I hear about a bloodline continuance of the man is a government, it's not a personal thing, it's a government the man set.
Mm.
And the government going to take the form of parliament, parliamentarians, and a committee to run the basic foundation day-to-day runnings. Now, the fact that the constitution was built around him and he's not there anymore, then it requires a shift or a change in the constitution to accommodate the house or the elders or the body of the foundation, the body of I and I worldwide to select the 32 member parliament.
Mm.
And this is why man come in conflict with the some of the bridging them because them applying that two members of the parliament prior before the father left, that the responsibility is upon them alone to select by whatever process them think of a 32 member parliament. And the bigger house I say, we not see no transparency in that because I was made a parliament member and I sit in with the bridging them and it it not transparent and it not free. Who them like and who them not like, the selection of particular members. I've seen man deny brethren that the bigger body select and say, the man here come with that a long time, a faithful man and them thing there. And them jar for something like the man went to a bingy years ago and take off him turban going to the bingy. So that's going to prohibit him from being you know, some
Obscure.
where them have a personal issue, some where them have a personal issue with the man or the man they can't be selected. While you're talking about man in the tradition, 30, 40 years,
So so
stalwart,
so this
talk
this
to me.
this is while the I is a part of the parliament.
I was made a part of the parliament in 2007. And from 2007, we are trying to make the 32 member parliament that the father said is to be. Now, I could be corrected
When I
that,
pray the honorable priest, when the I say
yes,
parliament, are we talking about the online parliament? Are we talking about the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Parliament? Because
well,
I think that's two separate entity there.
yes, my lord. The intent
Mm.
is for Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Parliament. Like me say, the two bridging them that determine, and is a bridging, but it's not all the while the way we see things is the correct way to do things. Seeing?
Mm.
And the choice of saying the selection of the parliament members is only by these two bridging was not something that seemed fair. We were gathering the 32 members to be the E.A.B.I.C parliament. But along the way, I'm calling and something, it probably was they probably was set 32 members before even the father passed. When you think about it far, I remember we joined for man name that it depend the parliament from before. Some of these man expire, some of the man them was no active part of the Congress anymore. And from that time, and when I was called into to become a parliamentarian, until now, we can't get to a 32 member parliament because of the selection process or the restrictions of those two individuals. You see it?
Is there a power struggle within the Congress? Who should be the head and who should run the Congress?
Well, yes, my lord. I would say yes. I would answer that as yes. Um, the man them who that did train and was functioning as a parliament when Dada passed, you'd have to say there was a coup, and some of those men were thrown out, you know. So I'm say, I'm glad you're in time you go on and you interview Honorable Priest Turks. And so from that point, is a spoiling go on to the progress where the father set and lay out. Because man was trained within certain office and certain duties. But the difference, like I said, power struggle come about. See? And we get out of that, we have the bloodline theory.
Mm.
Out of that, you get the set of man them with their yard, they say, a them, and then you have the set of bridging them who it eventually become what you call the online parliament. Now, to me, you couldn't have a parliament without the inclusion of the man them on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a struggle, you know? And then the strictness, I don't know if strictness is the right word, but the injustice of the selection process. Cause a couple of us, well, to step away from the parliament for it is determined that it is to be a dictatorship. And within our man consciousness, that's not where King Emmanuel Charles Edwards was heading, not
Dictatorship
guiding us to.
by what? A single individual or a group?
It become a group.
So
It become a group.
so what they point out then the selection would be under some form of favoritism type of thing then.
That is what he was experiencing. You see it? Rather than a man with loyalty and service for 40 years and something,
Mm.
you find some fault that him did know. The problem with that is that you that is selecting, we have fault we find in a you too.
Mm.
You understand? So if you can be forgiven, then why you can't forgive a man that did say something
For,
unadvisedly with his lips 30 years ago?
forgive those who trespass against
Yes,
us.
my lord.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yes, I.
Yeah. So the it is like sitting in the seat of the scornful.
Mm.
And the book says, blessed is the man that sitteth not in the seat of the scornful. Have this meditation and tendency to be scornful of each other
Mm.
according to frailties that all of us have at some time and mistakes that man make at some time. And if the Father could have still embrace us and in mercy bring us to be greater, then you have to forgive. The creed say, help
77
us to forgive. Help us to forgive that we might be forgiven.
forgiven. True, my Lord.
You see it?
Yeah, man.
If you going to be God, then you have to dispense the love and the forgiveness, just like how the Father did for all of us. You can't be want to be stricter and more judgmental than the Father, you know? And that is my problem why I walk away from the parliament runnings. It's
Um,
not an easy task,
mm,
to be
I
honest. It's
can.
not an easy task to gather all among them, but it's the method by which you do it. You see it? Because you have ambassadors in all of these different places.
Mm,
How simple it can be. You have ambassadors in all the different places. Now, if you want to know a man, is the people them that him there on every day. Cause you might hear of a priest this and a priest that, you know. And so the man they upright and all of them thing there. him woman, him children, and the people them that around him can say, him not so straight, you know. So if we're going to have a selection, it have to be of the people them that are around
Mm.
in each house, in each area that we have a body of people that them select the best man, the man that loyal to the order and stand steadfast in him walk with Dada, with the Christ. You see it? And make them select. And out of that you nominate a 32 member parliament, including females too.
Mm.
Yeah, you couldn't sit on one place and decide, say, you and a man there, a old friend from morning, so him a go be this, and you and a man there. No, it's not a transparent way that. So that is why it's not going no further than where it is from that time, you
Till
know,
now. All right.
till now.
Where you recognize to be the headquarters today?
The foundation, my lord, is when you read the pamphlet,
Mm.
it was transferred from 58B Spanish Town Road to 10 miles Bull Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jah registered the Congress in Ghana as the first place on the continent, and that was his projection for the headquarters to be in Africa. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
But the man them never maintain that standard and that way. So over time, them never even not take care of renewing that registration. You also say want a foot in Ethiopia. So that is to be an established place also. And we have man now in Kenya, in South Africa, and all of these places. The foundation always going to be the foundation, especially since that's where the resting place of the Father is.
Mm.
But
No.
the headquarters,
Yeah, is a
the
total different
headquarters,
thing.
yes, my lord. You
Yeah.
see, the headquarters is to be established in Africa.
Mm.
One of the places, them, whether it's Ethiopia or Ghana, headquarters is to be established in Ethiopia.
So currently the headquarters is still 10 miles Bull Bay.
Yes, as much as it's not functioning within that capacity.
Mm.
Remember, it was headquarters because Dada was there and running things from that point. You understand? No, there has to be a shift because we need an international body to run the Congress. And the man them on the hill as it is now, not carry the full capability, nor is there yet established the functioning 32 member parliament. That is to be the body, and wherever we house that, whether in Ghana or in Ethiopia, going to be the headquarters. So it's like there's a transition. It's like oh that has from being the theocracy governance of the king ruling to a parliamentary congress standing is a changeover.
Mm.
And there is to be that changeover too because the man say him nah build not more of Jamaica. That means that it was a temporary Jamaica and it was a temporary construct until you go home. And the lack of us coming to that unity and progressing the Congress and the lack mainly is we don't create a financial
Mm-hmm.
system for the governance and the maintenance of the Congress up until now. Everybody want to rule, but nobody comes up with a program that we can apply ourselves to have the funds that we need to send a 7 man delegation down a South Africa to correct the mix up we are going and send a 7 man to Ghana to establish a business that can support the man them in each place that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to be the ruler and me have the authority and me have the this. A Jah the ruler in us all. And if we see the wholeness of where Jah did that deal with, would have come to that unity and create the thing that is necessary. You can't have a government without a way of business, a business to support the government. And that is what we are lacking for so many years. And we don't have yet a plan how to establish that. To me, my personal understanding of it, that is what is lacking.
My lord.
You see it? Yeah, because you can't have a government and something come up and you not have no means of supporting the
Financing it.
solution.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at the elder care program that the Council of Elders developed. We're having elders get older and incapable of maintaining themselves, and they have given their whole life to the government. The government's supposed to take care of you in those last days.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure so you get healthy food to sustain you and whatever care that you need
Mm-hmm.
for your last days.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of finances cause man fear suffer. And that not right. There's enough of us worldwide. If we see the beauty of what the Father leave in our hands to do, to attend unto that, create economic resources to maintain and the progress, the forward progress and the upgrowing of the Congress, because it keep expanding. But the lack of a way how to make money and do the necessary things cause a shortcoming. And so man argue amongst one another. And that is not the way of the black Christ. You
Mm.
see it? When Dada was there, Dada provide for all of us. You know, see it? Yeah. So as sons, as big sons now, we have to take that responsibility because age protected and infants cared for is something that we have in our creed to say 6 times a day. You do Psalms reading in the morning, you say the creed going up and the creed coming down. That's how it go. And
Very true.
midday and 6 o'clock in the evening. And we not even talk about going up with service either. We just a talk about the daily Psalms reading that we say these things 6 days, 6 times a day. But we have to bring that reality as God's when time we come to that consciousness, say, we are the God and no one now come out of sky and that and now come back come do this. The spirit of truth that is our comforter is the same Emmanuel that we are healed. And we need to accept that within ourselves and take that responsibility to provide for the aged and provide for the sick and make sure say the youth them are nourished and the empress them now suffer and protect the empress them.
My lord. Reality. Um,
Yes, my lord.
reality, my lord. Uh, there I speak about Ghana. Seeing,
Yes.
everyone seems to have a different type of perspective on why ones was told to leave from Ethiopia to Ghana at the time.
Yes, yes.
What's their thoughts on that?
The programmers, initial program, my lad, to
Yeah.
what I understand, the government was receptive. I mean, they had even a program for the man them to go to the college or the university to learn the language. Now, some less than legal things were done by man with passport going back, and the incident with Honorable Priest Harry with the flag that caused the government to look at us in a less than positive way as how we did first come. You see it?
Mm.
And so the man they must push across the border to go to Kenya. Think is Kenya is the place, you know? Yeah, but it was man not moving as how the Christ would have given the character to move
Mm.
that bring that upon us. You see it? And because Priest Paul was not in that group, he remained with Honorable Priest Ayapi and him flourish, you know, or him stand.
Mm.
You see it? But the rest of man them had to move because them get to them actions. Yeah, the actions of a few cause a bad name from the Congress, to the best of my understanding. You
So
know?
it's like we shot ourselves in our own foot then, my lord.
Yes, my lord. You'd have to say that, you know?
Mm.
Yet the reality, one of the realities, like I keep saying, while Dada was there was the financial support. When time Dada transition, the lack of unity caused that to not keep up. So the growth and development of the different places was stifled through a lack of financial support. You see it? Yeah. And that now we in Miami did take up, knowing say the father did register the church in Ghana, and that was the place that the door was open to us after the mishap in Ethiopia. Ghana was the most open door to us. So the father was looking to establish
Mm.
him first solid church in that place. And so we in Florida they take up the mantle of fulfilling that aspect of it. And through the help of priest Turks, we build tabernacle, we build houses, we buy land. But the mindset of the man them there wasn't in a cohesion or cooperativeness.
See it.
Yeah, and the ignorance of a few spoil the whole bunch.
Mm.
You see it? And we'd have to leave that alone because we looking for build a place where we can go and bring our families.
My
Man
lord.
never work with that program there. You understand? Yeah, man them never work with that program there, my lad. And so the support cut off, you know? But the prosperity of the child is dependent on us to come to that mindset that nothing now come out of sky. Even though that we did learn in our Christian life, coming to the tradition. And accept what the Father teach us. Father, Marcus, self-reliance, you know? to create our own business, our own industries that can maintain the functioning government of the Black Christ until we come to that realization and put away the barriers, personality barriers and ego barriers and narcissistic tendencies where some have, eh? And come to the fullness of Christ within ourselves. Then we have that lack that we need to fulfill. You see it? The
Majesty.
man give us the man give us a order, my lord, that no short of nothing. I just we to fulfill it in the full capacity that it can be done. You see it?
Yes, I.
Support by all the members worldwide for we have man in South America too.
Mm-hmm.
But they're looking to one organized governing body and we spend how much years upon them man there and don't come to the oneness of God that the man teach us. As he is one in us, then we should be one in him.
Most natural.
You
Most,
understand?
most natural.
Yeah, but the egos tell us say, when me did the closer to the Father, and me know the Father more, and me more righteous more, and personalities keep us away from the wholeness where God is. That's why we have to show the young ones now, say, the most important journey, part of your journey, is the discovery of God within yourself. God the Father always a teacher say, greater is in you than in all the world. You know?
Yes,
You know
I.
the story where the priest tell about when him go a road and attack, teach the people them of King Emmanuel and appear struggle, him a struggle. And when him come to the Father, and the Father tell him, say, my lad, teach them about themselves. Tell them you are God. Tell them are God. That is the step up where we have to step up the teaching, bring the people them to God within themselves.
Most
Then them
natural.
can understand Prince Emmanuel as God. Then them can understand Haile Selassie as God. But you have to see God in yourself first before you can see God in the next man.
True.
You see it?
True,
Yes.
true.
And when we come to that fullness of understanding within ourselves, then we will respect the God in each other and put away the frivolities that we use to keep us at distance and apart. God, the book say, a house divided by itself
Shall
can't
not
stand.
stand.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
And we talk these things, but we don't make them to be a reality amongst us ourselves.
I think,
Every letter that them signing,
yeah.
go on, ask the question.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we make these things a reality amongst ourselves because we divide up
Yes,
ourselves. So
yes, my
we
lord.
crumbling and we falling in in every areas and department. You know what I mean? So yeah, that is prophecy and history, my lord. But
Yeah.
reasoning have nothing. A good while with there. Me have
Eh,
yeah man. Me have about three more. Me have a whole heap of questions still but me more kinda narrow it down to three because we've been
yes,
here for a good while and what we not say today, we can say tomorrow
yes,
still. You know what I mean?
yes, my lord.
Yes,
Yes.
I. But what are the I thoughts and repatriation, or you see that is it the same perspective as what I have 20 years ago?
Um, yes, my lord. In a sense, but we see the shift where the Father did make.
Mm.
Relying on governments and United Nations to fulfill that cause. Marcus Garvey did start how much years ago him say, if you don't see me at the time of your redemption, you will see me at another time. So him had an awareness that it's going to take some time to come to the fulfillment.
Yeah.
The overnight thing that we're going to see 7 or 9 miles about one of these years or something is not a reality to I man at this point. The African Union have to come to that wholeness within themselves.
Mm.
And then they, along with members in the United Nations, those responsible for bringing us down here and enslaving us for so much years, have to come to some agreement of how it to be done internationally. Within the short term, Africa is opening her doors, and all who want to go, it just take uh, self and your life as an individual. In the meantime, that we're working on the government to government repatriation. That is going to be fulfilled eventually, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but the people to receive us are struggling for to have hospitals, schools, infrastructure,
Mm.
because the continent have to go, every continent and every set of progressive nations have had some kind of industrial revolution.
True.
And Africa hasn't been through that yet. We're just starting to go through those processes. We
Engine
just
dust our turn.
and it just a sputter, it don't even
Yeah.
get fine tuned yet.
Yeah.
You
True. True.
understand?
True. True.
But that development have to happen for the mass transportation and accommodation to be fulfilled.
Mm.
Now, as Honorable Priest Campbell said, the man tell him, until then, we can have a people to people repatriation. Now, we have it within our capacity to come to a unity and garnish funds where we can send man in groups. We see 12 tribes the other day with a whole set of people. So there are examples of it that we can do. You understand?
Yes, I.
And create that environment on the land that man going into of businesses that to maintain and not for when time you drop a set of man in Ethiopia, you drop a set of man in Kenya, then fi look forward again to the man them out of West to support that. No. It have to be properly planned with businesses set up, housing set up, and then you transport a set of ones. That take financial planning.
Mm.
And we don't get to that table yet. We can't get to the table where we sit down 33 member parliament and come up with programs. We still argue about them set a man there and what them a do and what them not do.
Mm.
And the father work still left undone. Nobody else now come do it, you know. You see it? And we see a man have to do that. So in the meantime, as an individual, to the priest the other day and him carrying family and all of them gone and reside in Ghana. And priest Glass and priest in family and priest all them man the way you go see. Have to make that individual move. But we're aspiring to go to Africa from we start out as Rastaman. We're aspiring to leave out of Babylon from we little as Rastaman.
Mm-hmm.
Some man have changed them goal and objective and decide to be comfortable where they're at. And we don't fight them for Marcus, you know everyone good for Africa.
True.
If you can't see the future for your children and your grandchildren, after all the years of oppression under these people in these places that we are, as to say, the glory of Africa rising. And when time that rise, there's going to be a change and a shift in the earth, in humanity. Because we are the moral parents of humanity. So
Rastafari.
when time we develop our systems and we have adequate hospitals and school and all of them things there, then the agenda that we have out of West here can be fulfilled on that level. In the meantime, if you are a doctor, a nurse or something, the door wide open, Africa, for you to transition. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And see that as your personal development as a Rasta man, return from the West unto your heavenly home.
My lord.
Eh?
Yes, I.
Yes. But
True, true.
the people them open them doors, them looking for professionals to help to build that Africa, that
Mm-hmm.
future Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Them not going to open them doors to take on people that going to crowd the system or overrun the system with need. You understand?
My lord.
So we have to go with talents. When time we up on the hill, there did have a man come from the United Nations that him was a refugee. So him did a see if him could have get we under a refugee program to return. And then he bring a farm and you have all of it sit down and him a go through a man a read the farm and a go through and it come to a point where it's a occupation. And just say, my lad, when you go home you have to have a skill. Or we have to go work and build Africa. That we can do while we are here
Mm-hmm.
to get professions and our children into professions that fulfill the need in Africa. And so we are acceptable, desirable by the governments. And that will impact them more to say we have to send for a brother them. We're getting there, my lad. But when time you listen to Dr. Arikana, you can see she's fighting for I and I in the diaspora, as them
Mm-hmm.
call us, the sixth region, to get our justice. But the man them on the continent have their priorities
Mm-hmm.
of, yeah, you understand?
Yes, I.
Of building first their individual and what should be individual states to build that union, that nation well kingdom that the father talk about, that is willing to accept all the subjects, all the sons and daughters from the four rings of the earth. And it won't be a overload upon the system because they have gone through their industrial development and able to maintain what is necessary upon the continent without looking to Europe or any other place for support. Just
Natural.
as how India was under the British system and colonialism and them free themselves. Other nations have done the same thing.
China.
It, it is our time. Yes, it is our time. Now remember when me tell you, say the father said the last day, him say, the last reason me and him are having, where him say, our first children were the Chinese, and then the Indians, and then the white man.
Mm-hmm.
Now we come up with the white man being the ruler of the world. When me a go to school, them say the sun never set from the British kingdom. That means say anywhere the sun they in the earth, them are a colony. And
Mm-hmm.
that isn't no more. So that empire has fallen. And so shall this one. And the emerging next power is the Chinese. So if you're looking at say as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Then after the Chinese is our reign.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But we have to go through that industrial and technological development of our own,
True.
where we do our resources, we don't sell raw material to different European countries and then make product and send it back to it. No. We process and develop the thing and get the wealth out of it and sell to everybody else like China does, like Taiwan does, like all of these places does.
Reality, my lad. I have one more question for the eye, my lad. We have 15
Yes.
more minutes. Saying I think the eye can use the 15 minutes and seal it up still. Um since we're talking about Africa and the development of Africa and
Yes.
returning home, the Bible play an intricate role in our Rastafari liberty and also as Bobo Shanti as priest, of the order of Melchizedek. There's a
Yes.
narrative that said that when we reach um, Africa, we will throw away the Bible. There is many Bible in Africa. There's many different religion as they might know in Africa,
Yes.
and
Yes.
there are also Rastafari brethren there in Africa who don't align themselves with the Bible, and
Yes.
see some of us out here in the diaspora who align ourselves like Bobo Shanti with the Bible. Um, are is seen as like colonizers, Rasta coming back to Africa to colonize with the Bible. But we have the narrative say, boy, we throwing away the Bible, when we reach Africa. So how do I say that?
As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. I and I are God's people from the beginning. That was beaten out of us
Mm,
over 400 years through brutality. When we come back to that within ourselves, then we're not going to need the Bible, because when you come to the consciousness within yourself, like could I say, Prince Emmanuel is a living Bible, Marcus Garvey is a living Bible, Haile Selassie is a living Bible, and many men have right in the earth where you listen to them, you hear that you can discern that spirit of truth
mm,
that is in them and learn from that. That a certain time you go and remember say the man them where you say a God. You see it? We have enough connection back to our ancestral way of understanding the universe and the principles of spirituality. The Bible that we use, the spirituality was taken out of it. So we're not gonna need that when time we come back to that spirituality within ourselves. It's like a compass that help us on our journey home. But when you reach home, you don't need the compass again.
mm,
You don't reach your destination.
my Lord.
Now some interpret it as all the prophecies have been fulfilled. For that you want to hold on upon that is good. You say along our journey, if we come to that self of self within ourselves, recognition of us as being God. Like me say, the proverb on the pyramid say, "Man, know thyself, and thou will know all things." When we come back to that, we come back to that practice that we did have in Egypt, not to be told, "Thou shalt not do," but as the negative confessions signify that we are aware of our godliness. So I have not done this. I have not cheated my brother. I have not told a lie. I have not taken my brother's wife. I have not. Because
Laws
you're
of
God, you don't do
Mars.
those things.
Yes,
Yes,
I.
my Lord.
Yeah.
That's where that's where our Africanness and spirituality is coming from. And through enslavement, them a tell you, thou shall not. That's why Jah bring us back to the remembrance of who we were from before that.
Mm.
So that we know so certain things we not do. And we listen to the voice and the spirit of truth within ourselves. And what did I say? If you take counsel from your brother, take counsel with each other. We don't talk the talk, say iron sharpen iron.
Yes, I.
Eh? Yes, my lord. So when you got service, the priest when him dep on farm, speak with the voice of God. You see it? And bring the changes that we need within ourselves. Stop look outside ourselves for God. The journey where we are look all along. A search for this Christ within ourselves. Christ come and teach us that. But enough not study the words where the man give it. Enough things I man just a come to within after 40 years with the man, my lord. So it's not a overnight thing. Where the hymn say, takes time to be holy,
Yes,
speak
I.
after the Lord. You see it?
True.
Yeah. Study those words where the man give it and make them a reality within ourselves and within our child. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and love your brother as you love yourself. When we fulfill that, we no need to read from a book. Because that is history of the past of how we did some things where we did do and God show you appreciation for that and some things we do and God not like that. But when we come to the consciousness within ourselves, we don't have to read that. We know that within ourselves. The man come as an example live amongst we, my lord.
Yes, I.
The man says, study words, my lord. Use words that uplift each other. Use words that strengthen with one another. And the love and the bond become closer. All we have to do, fulfill the word that the man give us. The last commandment. This is the word that me go say when you away. Love one another and obey. Do unto others as they do unto you, or you do unto God. Remember which line it really is. But the whole essence of it is love. All the pamphlet them and the things when God are in them, what the 7 words him say? 7 words of love.
Yes,
God
I.
is love. Let us all love. We have to recognize that frequency that we call God, that vibration, and walk in that. Be that is like a generator of love that we are to be to conquer the darkness of the world that surround us. You know? Yeah.
Majesty.
Stand above it.
Yes, I.
Yes, my Lord. Yeah. So that is my understanding of that about putting away the Bible. And they say when you're going up the mountain, you see it? Yeah. Coming to that fullness of consciousness within ourselves that we are the gods And therefore we must live as gods. We have to manifest that amongst ourselves.
True.
And the world will fall in place. At least those of the world, those that are in the world that are of God will fall in place. But the kingdom of darkness and error must fall in, my lad.
Most
No
natural.
matter how you see them a while up and a go on, and it's like me or priest are they gonna talk and you know what happened to all of these things and all of these things. That is not the kingdom of God. For the man says, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. The black man are the spiritual and moral father and mother of creation upon this earth. Yeah. And when you come back to that position in knowing others, then the earth change. You see it?
True.
Yes, my lord. That me understand what are the teachings of the Black Christ, And just for my last thing me have to say, where I am today, a great deal and a great deal and a great part of it is through the teaching of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edward. I'm in gratitude for the days and the years that I spent up there, and in gratitude for the upliftment that he has given I and all of us still, but me have to talk on my personal,
Yes, I.
development to where I am today. I true where the man teach me and carry me through, you know, the fire of purging to get to this point. And we still have a journey to go, for we don't know everything. And we still have some little colonial ways where we have to spit out. Yes. But true, we're conscious of where we have to get to and who we are. Then all of that have to leave too. You see it? But we not stop until we reach our destination. Man of right is God in flesh, my Lord. So that take up your 15 minutes on Herb.
Yeah, shy of 2 minutes and add still, but we give thanks, Yeah.
Yes, my Lord. I mean, if you have another thing come.
Yeah, well, we give thanks, man. We give thanks. Reasoning have no end, you know.
True, my Lord. True, true, true.
It's been a joy. Uh, you know,
Rastafari.
it's been emotional certain parts of the reasoning
Selassie.
still, but
Rastafari.
I give thanks for the high life, my Lord, and
Selassie.
the high experience, see, in the
Rastafari.
order, and what
Yes,
the I
my
have
Lord.
learned and what the I
Yes.
have applied and share, amongst
Yes.
I and I, my Lord. So I pray that, the Most High Father and Mother, will continue to guide the eye and continue to lengthen the eye days, and continue to bless the eye, my Lord, and let the eye, be a light, that shine bright and inspire others, my Lord. Holy Emmanuel, I, King Selassie,
Selassie.
I,
Jah.
Jah Rastafari.
All glory be to God and I, my Lord. Most High. Eli. Selassie.
Selassie,
Jah.
Jah
Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Man, give thanks, my Lord.
Majesty. Yes, I.
Give thanks for all your blessing, my Lord, and your kind words. And I hope to meet again. We have enough more things to talk.
Yes, I. Yes, I.
See
Yes,
it?
I. True, true,
But
God.
within another moment, and I will
True, my Lord. Yeah, man. Give
give
thanks
thanks to
and
this moment.
yes, I. This royal moment, my Lord. Yes, I. More love and
Rastafari.
strength.
Yes, honorable, blessed love.
Peace and love, my Lord. Rastafari. Yes, I. Yes, honorable family. Wow. That's a marathon, I must say. Reasoning with the honorable priest Knuckles. Yeah, man. Give thanks, honorable priest, for the time spent. Yeah, yeah, it's been a joy. And yeah, it's an honor. Yeah, real honor and a pleasure. So, honorable family, the I them know what to do. Reason with us in the comment section. Let we know your views, your thoughts, and what's been said here today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Manners and respect, and peace and love, and take care of the eye themselves. Until we meet at Nego's feet. Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah Rastafari.
Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset.